Police arrived around 9 p.m. on May 13, 1993. The small house was white, with navy trim and a boarded-up garage, number 913. There was a blue truck parked in the yard and a boy of 6 sitting in the driver's seat. Neighbors had called the officers because the boy had been honking the horn for hours. They had heard other noises, too. Susie Roberts, who lived next door, heard popping sounds that she thought were her potpourri burners shattering, but when she checked, she saw they were intact. Another neighbor had heard hammering from inside the White House. The boy told the officers that his mother had gone inside a few hours earlier. She never came back out. A social worker with the police called the boy's grandparents. Officers paced and deliberated in the yard. The front door was locked, and they couldn't see any movement on the main floor. The basement windows were blocked off with styrofoam. They'd never dealt with a situation like this before. Vinton was a town of just 5,000 people, a quiet farming community built on an expanse of eastern Iowa flatness so far-reaching that you could almost perceive the curve of the Earth's surface. The population had stagnated since the 1980s farm economy collapse, when Iowa Ham shut down, along with 4 of the 5 farm implement dealers in town. About a dozen churches remained, and little else. At around 11 p.m., officers circled the house. They closed off both ends of the block with police cars, then turned the streetlights off. The boy and his grandparents waited with the Cashman family, the neighbors on the other side of the White House. Other residents who had been watching from behind their curtains now stepped outside for a closer look. Susie Roberts came out to ask what was happening. An officer told her to go back inside, turn off all the lights, and lie down on the floor on the far side of the house. They believed a gunman was inside number 913. "I wish he'd just let her go," Mrs. Cashman recalled the boy's grandmother telling her. "I know he's just trying to get her to come back to him." Mrs. Cashman had a bad feeling. "Lady, they're stringing crime tape," she thought. Finally, the cops knocked down the front door. The house was quiet. The kitchen appeared undisturbed. No one was in the attic. When they descended into the basement, they encountered a scene that would stay with Police Chief Jeff Tilson, as he said, all my life. All blood and hair and water. A blonde woman, later identified as 28-year-old Crystal Hawkins, was floating in a rosy pool on the waterbed.